This is the Ffestiniog Railway here in North Wales. I'm visiting the area with Kit and we've dedicated the whole day to enjoy a ride up and down the full length of the railway. Porthmadog station is the joining point between two railways, the Ffestiniog, which will be taking a trip along today, and the Welsh Highland Railway, which Kit and I plan to take a ride on tomorrow. This departing service is the first train out from Porthmadog across the main road on its way to Carnarvon along the Welsh Highland Line. There is so much to say about the Ffestiniog Railway and the heritage engines, but let's take a quick look around the station before joining the train. More about the railway and this lovely Loco later on. We leave soon and have our reserved seats to find. From Porthmadog we cross the Cobb, a sea wall across the harbour, heading eastish to Blaenau Ffestiniog. We have 13 miles of track to ride along, following a tortuous route up to the higher mountainous areas inland. The track is laid to a peculiar 1 foot 11.5 inches. No idea why a simple 24-inch or 2-foot gauge isn't used, but that's what it is. Leaving the lower open area and the harbour behind, we pass through several stations. Boston Lodge is the first, with some railway depot workings and sidings. Minford is the first stop. Repairing is where the line really does begin to climb and the Loco has to work really hard to haul the long train up the line. The bends are quite tight, clearance is limited, and the scenery changes frequently as we continue up and further along the line through forests and along valley sides. As we sit back and enjoy the ride, we make good use of the onboard drinks and snack service. A bottle of Welsh steam seems to be appropriate, eh? Dannybolg Station is just over halfway along this outward journey and is a useful place to top up with water. Merddin Emrys is a very special loco. Built for the railway by the railway right here at Boston Lodge Works in 1879, she's worked very hard over the many years of service. She's an 0440 tank engine, coal-fired double Fairley engine. The centre cab looks odd in some ways, but does make the overall shape of the loco very balanced. Which is the front? Well, either, I guess. There's no way to cross from one side of the cab to the other as there's a hot fire and two ends of boilers in the middle. The regulator is above the boiler. Well, there are two regulators actually, one for each boiler and set of cylinders. Normally they're operated by the driver by gripping both bumps in the middle, but if they need to be controlled separately they can, such as if one set of driving wheels begins to slip, that regulator could be backed off and reopened while the gripping wheels were left with steam power applied. And we continue enjoying the lovely carriages, the large windows and fantastic views with typical Welsh weather, of course. There are a couple of tunnels along the route. Light on, please, guard. An important part of the history of the line is the realignment of the tracks along here at a higher level to pass alongside and above the reservoir lake here. This is a man-made lake and it flooded the old original track alignment. The old trackway can be spotted if the water level is not too high. This is the hydroelectric power station using the pumped and stored water of the lower and upper reservoirs here. And here we are, arriving at Blaenau Ffestiniog station, the end of the line. Merddin Emrys runs around to prepare for our return run down the line, but does take on more water. Thirsty work, this steamy effort.
Never miss an opportunity to take water.
And the driver tops up the lubrication system, checks around the Loco and makes sure we're all good to go right on time.
In the cafe. I didn't want to be you involved. I thought you were family. Girlfriend changed me. Have you got a girlfriend?
We don't have much time to explore beyond the station area as we're returning on the service back to Porthmadog. The line dates back to 1832 and is recognised as being the oldest surviving named railway company in the world. As were most early railways, the line was built for the slate industry and not for passengers. Carriages were drawn by horses. The upward pulling of empty wagons took about 6 hours. Steam engines were then introduced in 1863 using fairly articulated locos designed to cope with the tight curves and taxing climbs. Today our energetic little Loco returns us safely back to Porthmadog, over the Cobb and towards the town. I don't really want to leave, but we have been out on the line all day, but I do have time to look around the station and coaling yard a little more. I hope you've enjoyed following along with Kit and I today during our adventure up and down the line of the Ffestiniog Railway. Have you visited yourself? Let me know in the comments if you have any stories to tell about your own visit. Thanks for watching, and from here on the Ffestiniog Railway, North Wales, bye for now.